Good morning, happy Sunday. Hope you're doing something to take care of yourself. This video is kind of going to be double duty. I've got my Dew of the Gods eye masks on because I'm tired. I'm just tired, y'all. Like I said, this video is going to be doing double duty. We are starting with eyeshadow, and we are starting with one of our Guess the eyeshadows. However, it's gonna go up before this, so I will tell you before I even start, I'm doing Choroid. Choroid is a gorgeous mix of minerals. It's got beautiful blacks and purples and some light pinks, so I just kind of figured it was the perfect way to test out my new P Louise Wishes palette. I'm so excited to give this one a test run. But I'm going to be doing a full face of makeup, so I'm going to try this makeup over multiple different primers over the next few days to like see what works best. Today we are using the Photo Finish Primer. So this is my old Sephora. Well, it's actually Smashbox, but I bought it at Sephora when my mama was alive. And I have my mom's tube too that she bought at the same time. This stuff is absolutely amazing, and I ain't throwing it out until it's gone. Or until I see something icky growing in it, or until I get an eye infection from using it. You know, one of those three things. Okay, so I did have to remove all the sprinkles, which sucks. We're going to use a couple shades from both of the two palettes, so that's another reason why I wanted to use this particular mineral as my practice. Like I said, it does range from kind of a lighter pink through purple into black, so it'll be a whole thing. And we're going to start with an eyeliner, and we are actually going to test out, I don't have a P Louise eyeliner. We're going to test out a new eyeliner. If you follow me on TikTok, I tested out an eyelash stamp. Not lying. It's a lower eyelash stamp this week. Or last week. And it was the freaking disaster that you expect it to be. You can't make a stamp to put like lines under your eyes and make them look like eyelashes. That's not gonna trick anybody's eye into seeing 3D. It was bad. But it also has an eyeliner, so we're gonna see how at least the eyeliner part works. And like the company messaged me and asked me if I wanted to do a second video, and I'm like, did you see the first one? And they were like, yeah, we loved it. I said, no, go watch the first one, and then ask me if you want me to do a second one. And they're like, okay, well, and they went back and watched, and they're like, oh yeah, no. We think you were using it wrong. I'm like, really? Pray tell, what should I have done differently? And they said, well, try putting primer on your eyes. I'm like, I put primer on my eyes. Try putting powder on your eyes. I'm like, lady, before I filmed my attempt at this, do you think I did not experiment to try to figure out how to make this work? I mean, yeah, when it comes from the TikTok shop, it's sent as a preview product. It's sent as a preview product, yeah, where I'm supposed to test it out and see how it works. But also, when it's sent from the TikTok shop, if I get any sales, I get commission. So it's in my best interest to show how amazing these products are. Like, seriously. We are on the same side. We want products that work. I don't just, do, oh, sorry, this thing's crap videos because I find it funny to bash a product. I actually don't. I hate showing products that don't work. Especially ones that were sent to me free. If I paid money for it, it doesn't work, I'm probably mad. I don't want to pay money for something that doesn't work. But if it's sent to me for free and it doesn't work, it's like, oh crap. And I'm contractually obligated to make a video of this. But if I make a video of something that doesn't work saying, look how amazing this is, and I find a way to fake it, well then I'm just setting other people up to have that experience of, I spent my own actual money on this product and it doesn't work. I don't want to do that. You know, we're not going to underline. We're not going to do the under eye because my eye is being already painful this morning. So we're just going to do a small little line there and let it go. My eyes are already teary, so I will say it's a nice eyeliner. So that's great. It just, the concept of the product sucks. But yeah, I can't in good conscience make a video inviting people to buy a product that I don't believe in. That's stupid. It's unethical and I'm not gonna do it. So they decided that I was good and I didn't need to make a second video, and they were quite happy with the first one. Thank you so much. They still would be happy to offer me more suggestions of how to make it work if I decide I want to try again. I'm like, yeah, if I decide I need to have more time to waste, I will gladly reach out to you. But I don't see that happening. What's funny is this is the same company that when they approved my sample, they're like, oh, by the way, here's the script you are to use in your video. And I'm like, no. If you're sending me a free product, you don't also get to send me a script. That's not how that works. If you want me to use a specific script, you need to pay me. And I'll be honest, if I had signed up, you know, if I had signed a contract and agreed to do user-generated content for this company with this product, and I got it, and I followed their instructions, and I couldn't make it work, I would have backed out of the contract. This would have been the product where I broke my contract, because there's no way I would have said the script they gave me. It was like ridiculous. It was like, I have no lashes under eye and I'm always embarrassed by it. And then I found this product and now my life has changed. No. No. Your life will change because people will laugh at you because you have a hideous blob of black under your eye and no one told you that it was there. Okay, this Bake It a Good One, it's coming out so much lighter than it is in the packaging, and I am having trouble like building it up. It does not want to build. And one of the things about P Louise is her eyeshadows and all her makeup is supposed to be buildable. That's like the thing. And you can see, like, zoom in. There's pink, there's a blank spot. I don't get it. I do not get it at all. So we're gonna do what I don't normally do. And we're gonna take just a little bit more of the Smashbox and dab it where where the eyeliner isn't sticking. See if we can fix that mess. Everybody says she has the best eyeshadow, right? So it has to be me. Okay, so it looks like I just missed that spot when I was putting my primer on, which is entirely possible. I can definitely see that happening. It is old primer, so I will buy those apples. It is surprising me how the color on my face is so drastically different than the color in the pot. And that's consistent so far among every color I've tried. Okay, kind of happy with that pink now. Ready to move on to the purple. Make sure I'm getting the right shades here. Although my piece of Choroid does not have pink, most Choroid does. I'm not just adding pink because it sounds fun. Most Choroid has pink. We're gonna try You're a Hottie. That looks like the closest purple to it. Oh yeah, that's the right purple. Definitely a good purple for it. The blending though is gonna be fun thanks to adding multiple layers of primer. I hate to say it, it might be time to retire the Smashbox eye primer. I don't want to. I love that primer. It's the first primer I ever got. It's the first thing that made eyeshadow work on my eyes. But it's not working anymore. And it's 12 years old, so you know, it might be time to let it go. I know Smashbox still makes an eyeshadow primer. It's not exactly the same. It's not called Photo Finish, I don't think. And I'm sure over the past 10 years, formula has changed. I don't know why I'm looking over at Wolf like he's gonna magically give me the answer when he doesn't even know what I'm talking about. Alright, and then it goes into Absolute Black, and this palette doesn't have an Absolute Black. And I don't think this one does either. Not even close. Which is probably gonna be my Glam Light. Just from the way that P Louise is going on, I can kind of tell that Glam Light is the closest for blending and color, the way it applies. Yeah. Okay, so let's just get it wispy out to the edge of the cat eye. I really thought this Kiss palette would probably be the first one where I panned a color. Turns out I'm wrong. It's 100% gonna be one of my Lorellas. I don't know which one, but I have my favorite go-to palettes that I use for these. I'm trying next month to do a different theme that's gonna like use some different shades. So far the themes I have done have been strongly in the jewel tone themes, and next month's are definitely not. There's gonna be very few jewel tones, but I think I'll be able to use the P Louise palette quite a bit because it kind of I didn't expect it to be pastel-y, but it's kind of feeling a little pastel-y. It has some really pretty like creamy yellows, and I'm gonna need some creamy yellows, man. Definitely gonna need some creamy yellows. These do blend like a dream, that's for sure. I mean, the blend is very smooth on this. Extremely. So I like that a lot. Especially when I'm using some pretty contrasting colors and they're transitioning really nice. Okay, you don't have a pink sparkle that's the color I want exactly. So let's go in with Never Gets Old, which is kind of a purpley pink. And we'll just do a little bit of that. Yeah, that's gonna work. That's gonna work just fine. Now it's not a super heavy shimmer, which I like a heavy shimmer, but honestly today this is working for me for what I want. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting a heavier shimmer. I have to say, as much as I'm liking these, I am not liking it more than I like my Lorella, which is making me kind of surprised and a little bit sad. I really, really wanted this to be like the luxury eyeshadow. You know, the one that was like the best of the best. Because that's kind of what I had heard. But that's not what it's coming out to be. I'm struggling to get it to do what I can very quickly do with Lorella. Now, part of that might be just it's a different product and I need to learn how to use it differently, but it's just a little disheartening, you know? It's still beautiful and it blends, like I will say, it blends a lot easier than Lorella. It just goes on a lot more difficult than Lorella. Like it's a lot harder to get to the pigment level I want. And I don't know. I don't know. I wanted it to be an unqualified yes. And instead it's a, okay, I see potential. I want everything P Louise to just be like the best I've ever used. And that's not what I'm getting. But that could also be my inexperience, so. Okay, eyeshadow's done. Now it's time to do the rest of the face and continue to get ready with me. I have had issues the past 2 times I've used this particular tube, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it and throw this one away. 12 years I've had that tube of eyeshadow primer. 12 years. Now, I still have this one. And the reason why I think that, I worry about that one, but I'm not as worried about this one. I've had that one opened for 12 years. Like, I started using it as soon as I got it. I didn't open this one until about 3 years ago, which is still pretty damn old, and much older than you should have any makeup. But since when do I follow rules? Do as I say, not as I do. That is my motto around here. Now we begin the skin prep. And now I have been like die hard loving the Jung Se-Mool. I'm still using it today. However, I've been varying what primer or what moisturizers I use under it. And we're gonna try P Louise's moisturizer serum thing today. Starting with the Skin & Co. That has been my go-to since I got it. Performance-wise, it beats the pants off April Skin. Editor Bell here. Sorry if I seem a little frustrated in the next couple minutes. I have been getting harassed by a company that is trying to get a hold of my ex-husband's business, which started when I was married to him. I have asked them 8 times now to stop calling me. I have threatened to call the police on them for harassment. It's a little frustrating. Next time they call, I'm just going to give him his number, you know, because he's insane and crazy. And I promise you, I'm the nice one. But yeah, I was a little flustered by this, so it'll take me a second to calm back down. All right, so we've got our toner on. Calm down and smile. Keep calm and smile. You know, I know what that call was about. So this is the Lights Out Smooth and Refresh. Now, I have questions about this because the directions on the box don't match what the title is. Like, it says it's a moisturizer that's going to wake up your skin. However, it's part of her collection that you're supposed to use right before bed. So, Miss P Louise, I have questions. But that's okay, we're gonna try it here now. Lovely pink color. It's that smell halfway between watermelon and bubblegum. That, to me, it is like the most pink smell I have ever smelled in my life. I mean, can you think of anything more pink than watermelon flavored bubblegum? I generally don't like my skincare to have a smell, but this isn't bad, I have to say. Now, my skin's getting pretty red. That's also kind of normal. I don't think it's an allergic reaction, so don't freak out. There's no itchiness, there's no hives. It's just, I've rubbed stuff on my face and then I got a phone call that aggravated me. I think that's what's causing the red, because it's going away. So, yeah, we're fine. I'm gonna spray the 3-in-1 Boosting Mist from Jung Se-Mool. And then we're gonna put on, see, normally this is where I would put on the Essential Mool Cream as the primer. However, P Louise says this is a primer. It's strobe cream. It's a lot of sparkle. But we're trying things we're scared of. That's part of the theme of the year. We're gonna use it as primer. And here we go. I'm seeing a lot of gold glitter glow here. It's definitely a shimmer primer, and that's not something I'm used to. And that might be something really fun if you're a kid, or if you're going out like to a party or something. I don't know about this for every day. I'm turning on the bright light so I can really see how crazy this is looking. At least it matches the skin tone well. Like, I don't know that it's covering a damn thing, but it matches my skin tone. This is the lightest coverage I have ever seen. And it's given me that dewy, I just got rained on, or I'm sweating a lot, but I'm sweating gold glitter. So, sure, why not? I mean, it all comes down to, how does the rest of my makeup lie on this? It could be a good thing. I don't know. This could be fantastic. I'm not ready to, I mean, it's not so shockingly shiny that I'm ready to say, no, wash it off. Because I do want to make sure I get this up close, but not in the eyeshadow I just spent all that time doing. Okay, let's turn the bright light off so the camera can see what, that's a lot of shimmer. Like, there's a lot more shimmer in person than there is on camera. That's a lot of shimmer. Immediately I have reservations about this. Immediately. But we're gonna soldier on, gosh darn it. I kind of feel like I don't know that I need highlighter on top of this. I kind of feel like it is its own highlighter, but I have some here just in case I decide I need to. We shall see. The Tarte Face Tape, best ever. Love that product. Like, this is the brush that came with it that you're supposed to use, and I will say it does blend out with it really, really nice. However, what this brush does not do well is get right up next to your eye. So I'm kind of like, just, I'll blend it out with this, but I need something a little more to get right up next to the eye after I've already done eyeshadow. And it's weird using two brushes. Okay, moving on. I have been like, part of me feels like I should try to use the P Louise bronzer, but we have so hardcore established that this is not my face. But you know what? This is what we're doing. We're doing a full face of P Louise, so let's just go for it. I am using the lighter of the contoury, bronzery stuff. We'll see what we can make happen here. And I want to know what P Louise stuff does on P Louise, you know? Now, I don't have a lot of the powders, so I can't use exclusively P Louise powders. Oh look, I have a yellow circle around my face again like I haven't in ages. That totally doesn't match my skin tone. Isn't that awesome? No. I know she makes stuff that matches my skin tone, but her stuff runs very, very yellow. But she's got a lot of yellow in her skin tone, so I guess that makes sense. I don't know, maybe it's a British thing, like maybe Brits don't have so much red in their skin. I don't know. But you got the Irish. And the Irish are pretty red. So I don't know. I don't know about that. That doesn't seem right. Okay. Have I mentioned I hate how this looks on me when I do this? I'm going to try just a little bit of the redder brown and see if that does anything to tame it down a little bit. It usually helps a little bit, but it's just a little too dark for me, so I can't use it everywhere. Okay. So let's try. I'm going to try using the camera to tell me when I've blended correctly here instead of my mirror, which is telling me a different story than the camera is. That white line there, that is my gray hair. I cannot blend away my gray hair. Sorry, guys. So there will always be a white line at the edge there. That's why I put a headband on, because my hair covers it normally. But you can't get rid of gray hair, gray roots with makeup. Nor do you really want to. See, this is why I went to the red bronzer. I mean, it's blended. That's a smooth blend line. You just can't erase the fact that it's yellow. Let's try the blush. It's peach color, which may or may not, you know, work on my skin tone. We're gonna do the clown circles first, and then we're gonna work it back lighter. So I think the blush is fine. Like, I don't think the blush is a problem for my skin tone at all. I actually think it looks pretty natural in person. Camera's still picking it up a little strong, but in person it's pretty natural. So I don't at all have a problem with the blush. So that's nice. At least I can use the blush. But I'm thinking the bronzers are gonna have to go in my next declutter. I hate to do that, but it's also part of what happens when you have to buy product blind. If P Louise was in any store in America, I would go match before I bought. Like, I would still buy from her website. Just let me match. And I wish more makeup brands would sell, like, I don't know what to call it, like a trial kit where you can just swatch different. I just want like itty bitty amounts of the different shades. That's all I want. Just enough so I can put it on my skin, see how it lays, and is it the right color for me or not? So I don't end up with a ton of products that I'm not going to use because they don't work on me. Going in with the Belief in Truth Super Dots Golden Glow Serum, which is kind of a more mild highlighter, and this is just, I'm kind of just putting it in the areas that have kind of been covered a little bit by the bronzer or the highlighter, just to kind of bring out just a little bit of that shine. Because if we're going for dewy, we might as well go all out, right? I mean, it's not the worst makeup I've ever done on myself. I think we are about to have to toss. The weight difference in these two is shocking. This is my new pressed powder. This is my damn near panned pressed powder. And we might be hitting it today. Because, like, I am scraping edges to try to get any product out. It's done. Alright, let's go to the new one. Oh, look how easy that is to get product. Oh, amazing. And this Laura Geller one, it's not one that I ever got in a box. It's not one that, like, I got sent as a trial. I just needed pressed powder, and this was on sale on Amazon. So I got it, and I loved it. And so next time it went on sale on Amazon, I got another one. I will tell you right now, I would never ever go to work, even without the eyes, with this cakiness of how much caking I am having to do to try to get this bronzer to look somewhat natural is ridiculous. And to try to get the primer to not be quite, I mean, look at how shiny my face still is with pressed powder all over it. That's insane. Like, there's no freaking way. So yeah, I like this product, I do, as a highlighter. This is absolutely not a primer. I don't understand why so many brands are trying to combine highlighter primer. Like, I know the dewy look is in, but there's a difference between dewy and I am sweating my brains out. And I'm sorry, but this was giving I'm sweating my brains out. Continuing the F it all, work P Louise or bust mentality. Here comes the P Louise bronzer contour thing that actually is not as bad as the rest of it for not matching my face. Partially because by the time I get to this, I've already painted my face yellow. So, you know, it's gonna do what it's gonna do. By the time I get to where I'm putting powdered bronzer on, I've just kind of, I give up. This is just my face now. Now, I do not have any P Louise powdered blush. Oh no, so sad. Darn it. I sound so upset by that. So we're going in with the Offer palette we got in our Boxy Charm, which I have absolutely been loving. I'm going in with the mid-tone color first on the cheek parts. And then I go in with the darker rose, just kind of to fade it out a little bit and give it a little bit of dimension to make my face look like it's skinnier, somewhat. I don't know how well it works, but it also blends well when I use the blush bronzer instead of brown bronzer. Doesn't work so well when I've got P Louise like this on. That's okay. This is what we're going with. Instead of using that highlighter though, we are gonna make one last desperate attempt to de-yellow my face. And I am going in with the Utopia, which is the lighter pink from the Fluorescent Fantasy highlighter collection from Lorella. Just to try to pink it up a little bit. And I'm normally not so concerned about having a lot of pink colors on my face because I'm so dang red. But when everything else is yellow, I don't know what else to do. And I think I was fine until I decided I was going to use all P Louise today, which meant pulling out my bronzer and stuff that I bought blind in January. Yeah, no. Okay. The newest mascara I have is the Tarte. Do I like it as much as my Benefit? Not quite, but close. It's pretty good. And we are going with new makeup as the theme of the day, except the eyeshadow primer. I know. We're not getting into that. We're not talking about my 12-year-old eyeshadow primer anymore. At least until next time I use Mom's. Now, I normally don't put mascara on before I put setting powder on. But I forgot. So, oops. You know what? We're going to go with the 12-year-old setting powder too, because old meets new. That's the theme of the day. That's what we're doing. I also want to hit my face with a powder puff. That sounded fun right now. Got Wolf over there laughing. At least somebody thinks it's funny. It's not awful. Like, seriously, am I like ashamed to go out in public like this today? No. 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 Not exactly. Kind of. Okay, I tried this one yesterday, so we're going to try the chocolate pudding today. The lip bases. I'm filming this about a week before it's going to go up because I got the boxes a week. But in my world, I got the boxes yesterday. In YouTube world, I got the boxes 2 days ago. I like the formula. I like how this feels. I like that it gives me a matte base without drawing out my skin, and reminding myself of that, I need to, gonna add the Buxom Lip Plumper, which is gonna be just a little extra gloss, just a little. Give it just a tiny little helping hand here. I thought about using the P Louise, but I'm using the Buxom. Deal with it. I did try this one last night. I will give you that. The colors of these are terrifying because when they say chocolate pudding, they are deadly accurate. It looks like I just rubbed chocolate pudding on my lips. And there may be people that brown lips are a fabulous look for. There may be people that really like how nude lips look on their face. I am not either of those people. I like berries. I like berries. I like reds. I'll deal with a pink. I don't like chocolate pudding on my lips. I'm trying to let it dry down so I can put something on it because it is a base, which means you can build on it. And it does dry really nice. But it takes a while. Especially when you put something really glossy underneath it. So I might should have thought that through. Okay, so it's been like 5 minutes, not quite. I'm fighting against Buxom at this point, which is meant to be a lasting gloss. And then I applied what's meant to be a matte base on it, and that probably wasn't my best idea ever. But I have no patience, so we're moving on. I don't... This is not a color I have ever dreamed my lips would be. So I don't know what to put on it. Did we try the bright pink red? Do we try like the brick red? Do we try the super dark berry? A true red? I don't know. How about the purpley mauve? What would go over brown? Oh, there you go. The really purple. What would go over brown and not read more brown, but also not just like destroy the color? I don't know. This is where my color theory fails me, because I don't mix things with brown. I feel like if I go for the shocking pink, it should tone it down, possibly into a berry. I don't know if I am dreaming that or if that's what's going to happen, but we're going to try the, again, 10-year-old julep that probably should have been thrown away 8 years ago. But we're going to try it. Maybe we'll finally have something beautiful out of this. Or maybe it will just make my lips start to tingle and second guess my life. That added a very slight pink tinge to the brown. But this doesn't smell right. The trash can rejected it. It smells so wrong. That's kind of like where I draw the line when makeup doesn't smell right. That's when it's time to not use it anymore. There's probably a time before that would have been smarter, but just gonna pat that off a little bit. Not enough that I lose the chocolate brown. Okay, so that didn't work. And I feel like the NARS, since it's kind of a brick red, it's just gonna go more deep into the brown, and I don't know that I wanna do a brownie red. So I'm afraid to try that. And purple, I don't even freaking know what purple's gonna do, so I don't even wanna guess with that. That's gonna go too far into the brown. What's the opposite of brown? So here's what I'm down to. A somewhat true red or a very light pink. We're doing the true red. That's literally the only thing that can possibly save this. Yeah, that did about what I expected. That went from a true red to a kind of, on camera, neon-y red, but let me turn off the bright light. Kind of a bricky bright red. I don't know. This is not a color that works with this makeup look at all, though. That's what that did. That's better-ish. So let's just tame it down a little bit with the YSL, and that's what we're stuck with. Because I cannot keep layering colors on my lips. I will have, you'll be able to like see the paint. You just, this is what it is. Do I think the lip tint will eventually find a purpose? Yes. I have no idea what that purpose is, but I don't see me wearing chocolate pudding on my lips very often. I am not quite sure what to do with that to fix it. I need help. If you have any advice of how to make chocolate brown into any shade I would potentially wear, a berry, a dusty pink, a rosy pink, anything at all like that, please tell me in the comments, because I don't have a freaking clue. As far as the makeup goes, It feels light on my skin, which is surprising considering how thick it looks on my skin. Will I use every one of these products together ever again? Absolutely not. I think the P Louise bronzers that I have are destined to be destashed. The only reason I haven't yet is because I am sitting here holding on to hope that maybe when I get tan this summer, because that's likely to happen, they will magically match my skin tone. We all know that's not gonna happen, but I'm hopeful, so we're gonna hope for it. Honestly, the blush I think is good. I think it matches my skin tone. I think it's very pretty. I like how it wears. I'm totally good with that. The primer is a great highlighter. I will absolutely use that as a highlighter. I might even use it like as a primer for specific areas. Like I could see doing my forehead with it. I could see doing my eyes, using it as an eye primer, absolutely. Whole face, no, that's not happening again. The one product and the eyeshadow, it doesn't work the same as what I've been using, and that's part of my problem. And I don't know that that means it's bad, it just means it's different, and I need to get used to using different techniques. And I also used a bad primer with it, which is not its fault. So we're gonna try again with a nicer primer. We're gonna try, or not nicer, a newer primer. We're gonna try again with no primer. We're gonna try again with the P Louise Ultra Highlighting thing that I use on my entire face. We're gonna try some different things and see what works. I can definitely see potential in this, and they blend like a dream. I cannot wait to try cut creases with this. I haven't had a stone that really fit what I wanted, it like felt like it needed to cut crease yet. I don't know, there's some coming up, it could happen. So overall impression, the eyeshadow for P Louise I think is going to be great. I just need to learn better how to use it. The brushes are amazing. Lip bases, I like the texture, I hate the colors. Bronzer, we already know that was bad. The blush is beautiful. So of the products I got yesterday, I'm pretty happy with them. The serum under the makeup, honestly, I don't feel like I have any sense of whether it worked or not, except that my makeup feels very light. So that, I think, is a good thing. I honestly will probably keep it to a nighttime serum, to be honest. I just have so much, I already have so many in my nighttime routine. I really want it to be able to be something I could use as part of my daytime, because we've talked about how I don't like the Grown Alchemist. And I do like my Ivo Skin, but Ivo Skin doesn't work all the time. It's a very thick moisturizer, and I want something that's a little bit lighter. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep playing with it, keep trying it. I want to try it with the Jung Semul and see how they interact before I make some final decisions. So yeah, until I decided to go crazy and bring out the bronzers, the golden bronzer of death. I don't know what else to call it. Things were going well. I know, what do you think? Still needs some work, I think. All right, bye guys. Hope you did something to take care of yourself. If nothing else, I hope you laughed today. I at least made Wolf laugh. Bye guys.